As of April 5, 2026, which is Easter Sunday, I have officially turned 21 years old. And in my last day of being 20 years old, I've had one of the worst breakdowns in my entire life in a public space, in front of my family, in a bowling alley. And I wanted to share to you guys my experience in that and what I reflected on because yesterday was one of the days where I realized that inching closer and closer, I felt immense pressure in turning 21 because, in short, I've turned 21 into a deadline where I need to have life figured out already. And also the fact that I've spent my 18th, and 19th, and 20th birthday alone, even though I was surrounded with a lot of people. So yesterday, actually 2 days ago, and also today, we kind of spent my birthday, or rather, it's just a family gathering, but some part of it was my birthday celebration. So April 3rd, we spent my birthday in my house, or early birthday celebration. They've had cake for me, and they cooked me food, which was really delicious. Actually, I'm pretty grateful that my family cooked me food, and honestly, I'm very grateful, and I'm just not really expressive towards my family, and I become close off for some reason. We'll get to that later, but yeah, I was really grateful. Um, April 4th, or which was yesterday, we spent it going to a cafe which had a golfing ring. It was pretty fun actually. I tried the matcha mocha, which is honestly really delicious. I really love matcha. Not being performative or anything, but yeah. And the later part of my day was spent in the bowling alley. We tried looking for a bowling alley next to a another cafe, which was a cafe I went to. It's called Lala Garden. Uh, Next to it there was a mall where it had like bowling alley, and it was apparently under maintenance, so we had to go to another mall which was in SM Clark. They had a bowling alley, and honestly, I was very excited because I wanted to play again. But yeah, going into that, I kind of had like some epitomes or epiphanies rather of turning 21, and it was all due to the fact that yeah, I've spent my entire life thinking that 21 should be the age where I really need to have everything all sorted out. And my last day of being 20 was one of the worst days I've had in my life mentally. And um, it really took a toll on me. And I burdened everyone in my family just because of that. So to keep the actually, I'll just share all of it. So, in my in the bowling alley, I was really excited, and I was watching my family play, and I started remembering the conversations that my one of my ex partners and I had, um, and how she ended things with me. I've never really told anyone about this, but yeah, we ended things. I for I don't know if I could consider it a situationship or anything, but um, I was pretty sure that we had things like we're committed, or we're sure of each other and all that. But I don't. I want to spare the details. Honestly, I just want to forget about it. She ended things with me, and it was really like it really hurt me because I gave my world to her, and even though I didn't put my whole world revolving around her. So sucked because I gave my time, I gave my attention, even though I was a busy college student. Like I've had exams, I've had projects. I'm working on my thesis right now, actually. All that, I was juggling org work. I still tried to give time to her, and in the end, like, she told me that she didn't feel a spark anymore, so that's why she wanted to end things with me. Even though, like, I don't know, honestly. And the first day of receiving that text message, actually, we were supposed to go on Binondo or on a date. When she sent me that, I was prepared. I gave her flowers and everything. I was planning to surprise her, actually. I even planned the itinerary for her. I even planned the date weeks ahead. All that. I even shared her the details. And when I was almost about to leave, she sent me that text. And I don't know. I just felt like I didn't want to do anything in my life. I I don't know. Like, I wanted to distract myself so much. I started working on one of my programming projects, and I finished that. I started studying more than I ever had. Um, I did like everything I always wanted to do, but didn't get to because I had like no willpower. But suddenly it just like gave me the willpower to do stuff. I even worked out more. I went to the gym, became more consistent, and all of that was because of that one text message. And what I didn't get to resolve is are my feelings, actually. My feelings regarding that relationship. My family doesn't know about this because I've never told them about it. In fact, I'm very close off with my family. I'm very dry, which I admit I am very guilty about this. And um, I wish they didn't have to like see me, or rather, I wish they saw me in a more talkative side. After growing up, my dad used to tell me that um, I had like a speech delay, and even though I wasn't like neurodivergent or anything, I was just like a speech delay, and there's a lot of factors going into that. But yeah, other than that, I grew up to be like not really sheltered, but I was not really that exposed to the outside environment when I was a kid. We did go out. Um, we went to other countries like Taiwan and Hong Kong and all that. But I wasn't really the type to like talk a lot, and it showed even throughout my adolescence. I'm only really talkative when one of my hyperfixations get brought up, and when I'm with my friends, and yeah. Uh, Actually, when they celebrated my birthday yesterday, I was really happy. I just couldn't express it. And during that bowling alley, I performed so bad, even though I really tried my best. And it was because of the wrong form. I should like straighten my arm, but for some reason I couldn't, and it ended up with a gutter. Normally, when I bowl, I average around like 7 to 9. Um, but yeah, somehow I got it 2 times. And I remember all the times when, or not really all the time, but I remember that one text and all the immense pressure that I've gone through that I couldn't express to my family, and it made me withdraw. I immediately left the bowling alley. I wanted to see our comfort room. I put my headphones on. I played really loud music, and my sister was calling me through the phone, telling me where I was. I didn't reply. Um, I went to the I went back and I broke down. I actually broke down. Like it was genuinely one of the worst breakdowns I've had in my life, and I rarely break down. The last time I broke down was, yeah, when she ended things with me. The last time I broke down before that was during my Christmas party with my family because I missed my mom. Um, yeah, I broke down for like an hour. I withdrew from the game, and my dad tried his best to actually comfort me, but he thought it was because I did bad in bowling, which I understand why, but it wasn't because of that actually. And breaking down in public was something else really. No one was there to help me, even though there was a lot of people surrounding me. I was so overstimulated actually. I couldn't tell my sister that I really wanted to, but I couldn't. The- I normally am not really this um sensitive towards myself, but uh, I really felt a lot of emotions yesterday. It was all really negative. I even to the point that I felt like I needed therapy, and I really didn't have anyone to talk to about this. Actually, I'm grateful that I even had a group chat with my friends that I expressed this with over the phone, online, and I'm really grateful. Actually, they helped me calm down. I'm really grateful to them. But in real life, I couldn't really express it. I was really closed off, and I never said a word to them. I told them that I didn't want to talk. I spent the remaining time just breaking like in tears. And when they told me to go to dinner with them, I really didn't want to eat, and they insisted I should eat. They ate at this buffet. Honestly, it was all very blurry all the way, because when I was walking with them, I just forced myself to walk, but my eyes were like closed due to the tears that fell down. My eyes couldn't see anything that much. And I didn't eat at the buffet. I was just there, even though I was a celebrant. I didn't eat with them. I just played loud music in my headphones. Actually, my headphones are right here. This one, I played like a lot of songs in my head. Um, the thoughts that went inside my mind were really, really negative, and it got to the point where I've had fantasies of ending my life. And even though I was like, I've gotten over that phase like already before my 18th, before I turned 18 actually. There was a time where I told myself I wouldn't make it past 17. Just that was during the pandemic. Also one of the lowest points of my life, mentally. At the time I didn't really know about mental health and all that. Um, to be honest, no one really did, or at least like not to the extent of now. I'm glad that there are a lot of mental health resources, but I'm I'm going for that to topic like, but yeah, I didn't eat with them. Even though they wanted me to eat, I didn't, and I really just didn't want to talk to anyone. I talked to my friends through chat actually. Uh, I don't know. I don't know why I'm so close off with my family. All these years I've never really expressed my thoughts to my family because if they because my sister actually went through. I can't share that, but um what I experienced, like my sister had to go through therapy for that, and I don't really want to share the details. That's her business. But yeah, I don't want to go to therapy. I don't want them to spend more money on me. Actually, I spent um I actually said this to them. I shouted at them that I don't want them to spend any more money on me because I felt like my their money is being wasted on me. That's the first point. Um, yeah, that's the first point actually. I want to share. Wait, I'll turn on the fan here. It's getting hot, but actually, um, yeah. Currently study in Ateneo de Manila University, which it's quite frankly expensive. It costs 150k pesos per sem just to enroll in a semester, and I'm lucky to even be a scholar right now. When I applied again, not really again, but I applied late. During going through my second year of college, I got accepted, which I'm really grateful for. But one of my regrets in life is was being too confident in one university. I really wanted to go to LaSalle because they had like a good computer science program there, and was I was so fixated on the idea that I would be in LaSalle that I didn't apply for any scholarship elsewhere. Not even Ateneo. I didn't even acknowledge Ateneo as like a university. But yeah, that was one of my regrets. I didn't apply for a financial aid scholarship, which had my dad work so hard to pay off my tuition. And even though he's not like saying much about like, oh, anak, nahihirapan ako na um, pagbayaran tuition mo. Honestly, we're pretty comfortable. We can afford the tuition, but barely actually. My tuition is actually one of the largest expenses in my family annually, and that really pressured me to do as much as I can to actually do the most that I can, and it's gotten to the point where I'm trying to actually commit to a lot of stuff, and I do them naman. It's just that it doesn't feel enough, and I take on so many opportunities, and I feel like they're not enough because I feel like I'm living in a shadow of my sister. I know that comparison is not even joy pair, but my sister has a lot more going on with her life. She actually has a job on, well, I don't know if it's high paying by entry level standards, but she has a job um, in, in like a company that is well known, and she graduated in UP from University of the Philippines with the same program I am, computer science. And she took on a lot of internships. Honestly, like I'm really proud of her for um doing all that, and she never really like complained, or rather maybe she complained, but she took it better than me. um or I don't know, maybe I'm just being too um um maybe I'm assuming the wrong things, but from what I can see, my sister achieved a lot. She even presented her research internationally in a conference. It was crazy. Like the university actually, or the org that she was in, actually paid for her expenses in the conference, which really mind-boggling to me. But yeah, I am really not ungrateful. In fact, I'm very grateful that my family still managed to put all of this for me, like the birthday celebration, to put up with me despite me being difficult. Um, they carried me all the way to like the buffet. Um, they put up with me to the times where like during my first year I actually broke down because I couldn't solve this programming problem. Was one of the basic programming problems. It was a diamond. I genuinely couldn't figure it out. Um, I was thinking rationally. I wanted to drop out of college because of that. But that's really unrelated. Um, but yeah. I had this mindset that whatever my dad spent on me, I have to have a return on investment because he spent a lot of me. He invested a lot in me, so I really have to make up for it through like internships, through opportunities, through education. I know that education is a long term investment, and yeah, it was stupid of me to apply without applying for a scholarship in the first place. I think that none of this wouldn't happen if I just applied for 100% tuition fee. Scholar, yeah. Uh, what else was my point? But yeah, I was really overstimulated by that. The fact that there were a lot of people and the bowling alley and those thoughts of mine circulated. It was really like foolish of me to even break down. Um, I don't know. I think uh, I'm I'm pretty bad at like rationalizing stuff because I'm not really stoic. I I cannot separate what I can control and what I cannot control. That's a problem with me. And I really consider myself a late bloomer. In fact, I almost failed one of my courses in. I almost failed Calc 1 actually, and even though I studied for like 6 hours a day, I still managed to like get a barely passing grade. And actually, the prof curve, which was really nice of him, um, which meant that I didn't really have to retake the course, which cost more, and it would hurt my performance in academically, and it did actually. But going back to that, I've learned this Japanese philosophy. It's called wabi sabi. It's actually the piece of the late bloomer, and it's centered on like the importance or the acceptance of transience and imperfection. So Wabi Sabi actually finds things in things that are like impermanent or flawed. Like there are times where I keep calling myself a failure because really have nothing to show for. I don't have a Latin understanding. I'm not in a relationship right now. I don't have a fully figured out life at 21. But Wabi Sabi actually tells me to stop trying to present like something final about myself because I'm really supposed to be incomplete right now. Being a late bloomer just means that my foundation is being built and that I should give myself more permission to be a work in progress. And honestly, after we got home, when I stumbled upon that Japanese philosophy, it really struck me. Like maybe I don't need to have it all figured out by 21, and that I still have a long ways to go. And yeah, um, what else? Yeah, my family is really supportive of me on my endeavors. They supported me throughout my cubing journey. Actually, even though I tell them that I don't want to join a championship or compete, they still encourage me to. Which honestly, I'm pretty happy that they're this supportive. I'm really grateful actually. And yeah, in cubing really actually brought out the best and worst in me, and I learned a lot through the worst in me too. I had a phase during the pandemic where or 2023 rather, where I felt like I was the worst at cubing. I wanted to quit so bad. And even though a lot of people called me attention seeker, pansin, kulang sa pansin, it I honestly learned a lot about what it means to just accept your journey, to really have a, a defined version of yourself, to not like focus on things out of your control and all that. And yeah, there was this one quote that I stick by James McDiarmid, which is honestly one of the my favorite cubers right now. Um, he's the sixth side or a cuber from New Zealand, one of the oceanic record holders for multi-blind and really connoisseur for a lot of theoretical cubing. He told me that I should focus on goals that are tangible within my control, and I should have like a healthy relationship with cubing. Don't get too attached, all that. Honestly, it really helped me throughout my journey, and since then I've grown like a healthier cuber. I've had a healthier relationship with cubing. I don't really react as violently as before. Even though some people in the community still regard me as very negative, very sarcastic, which is honestly one of the things I have to fight or to prove to them that I'm not this person anymore. They still have to bring it up, but I pay no mind. Honestly, back then I was really sarcastic and negative. Um, Even though I was very genuine about like congratulating other people, they saw it as sarcastic because I used to downplay my performance so bad, up to the point that even when I got a national record or my first national record, I felt like crying because I did so bad. But it was because I was so bad. I didn't mean it to be like, oh, my record doesn't matter at all. Maybe they framed it that way. The community took it to a very bad light, and they started regarding me as this very negative person, which, yes, admit that I am. I had very low self esteem, and I'm still working on that. Actually, that's why I do all these things to actually build my confidence. I started to study more. I started working out more. Started just doing things that I enjoy, and we'll see if they really can get that new version of me. I don't really care. Like they should just stick to that pressure on me. Like I don't really mind anymore. But yeah, there was I put something here. But my dad didn't really know how to comfort me. Oh yeah, I already said that. Um, wait, sorry. Yeah. As I said, like I felt like I was living in my sister's shadow because I didn't have an intern. I don't have an internship secured. Like, and the deadlines are all like piling up. I have yet to have an acceptance from any internship company, even though I applied to so many. I even have a tracker for all that. I try my best to be like involved in like extracurriculars and other orgs, but it's all like um, it just feels lacking. I have so many ambitions or that I tell myself that I would do. I want to become a software engineer actually. Doesn't matter which company. I just want to be a software engineer. I want to solve real world problems, or maybe a front end developer or full stack. Actually, I've been working towards that, and I don't know. Comparing myself to like my other batchmates, I feel like my projects are really lackluster. They accomplish so much more, but comparison's a thief of joy. I shouldn't really like think about that. I should like think of how I should like brand myself more and all that. And I just need to upskill more. That's really the reality. Yeah, I guess it's also the fact where that Ateneo is really competitive. Um, that you need to have a certain like uh behavior. You need to everyone there is like really Latin understanding. They have internships. They feel like they have it all figured out. I know that during my first year, I told myself that those who have it figured out, just don't have it figured out. They just hide it better. But I started to ignore all of that by the time where thesis and internship season arrived. And yeah, um, um, I still don't know why I become less vocal or become less vocal towards people, especially my family. Maybe it was because of that early encounters when I was young, or maybe it was because there was some unresolved trauma in my life, and honestly, no one ever knows, or no one has ever known like the complete story of me, and not even my family knows what I've been through this past year. Um, Honestly, I had like thoughts of like self harming, and I didn't push through it, of course, but really my mental is really bad, and it's not. There are a lot of reasons why. Um, like before, it was because of cubing. Or second time it was because like school. The first time I got exposed to Ateneo, like the environment is really different from high school. Third one, there are a lot of reasons actually. There isn't really one. I guess Ateneo is like a main reason why my mental health is so bad, but honestly, like it's trying to build me to become a better person. And I realized that actually as I started reaching out to a lot more people. If they regard Ateneo as like high institution, I couldn't really see that, but now maybe it isn't so bad after all. Um maybe I should just try to be more positive about my outlook in Ateneo. And yeah. And wait. Oh yeah, about the return on investment. There was one of the philosophical sentiments that my professor in ethics brought up. I forgot about what ethics or philosophy of religion, but it was one of the philosophy courses I took or am taking. It's called Existentialism by Jean Paul Sartre. Basically, he argued that we exist first, and only through our actions do we create like this essence or purpose. Like I'm suffocating myself with the idea of the return of investment for my tuition fee in Ateneo. I'm demanding like this immediate essence or like this success to justify my existence and the money that my dad spent on my education. And there really is no like um there really isn't defined roadmap saying that 21 means that you have to be successful. I guess I got too caught up on the success stories and disregarded those stories of failure. I see a lot of like Reddit posts that were I get some advice on. Even though some of them were like really emotional, not really rational. Some of them actually do have like a point. I define my own meaning step by step, and that the one of the advice actually that my friend gave me was really simple yet something that I already like touch upon, but really I keep forgetting to remind myself. It's to show up, is to figure it out one step at a time, and honestly, that's one of the best things I can do right now, is to show up and do things one step at a time. And yeah, putting importance on the age 21 really helped me define, or really helped me reflect on, like, my past and what I can do now to just upskill, or my goals, just things that I have to do to better myself, and what I have to work on. And what I've learned throughout this, or yesterday, was that um most importantly, 21 isn't the age. There is no age um where we have to define success. Maybe we need a threshold, but there is no like one exact age. People can be successful at 18, people can be successful at 35. There is really no um clear definition of success as well. You define your definition of success. Me, my definition of success is to have a is to live happy, live a meaningful life, be financially stable, responsible, have a loving partner, maybe have a family one day, take on responsibilities which I can handle, upskill myself more to the career prospects that I want. There's a lot of meanings in success, and honestly, it's just, I think I was too overwhelmed yesterday, overstimulated, too pressured, that I keep forgetting that just showing up really matters. And I think that inching closer as well to my graduation. I'm currently a third year in Ateneo. Inching closer to my fourth year graduating, I might have felt pressure as well in finding a job. I need to like make sure that I need to know all of this programming languages. Honestly, I knew from the start that I really have to be fluent in one programming language. I think mine was Python. I'm learning JavaScript right now. I applied it to my projects, but yeah, I also had like a lot of instances where I felt like a lot of imposter syndrome in programming, and I know that's normal, but yeah, it wasn't really never about the programming that took a toll on me, other than that one instance where I couldn't solve like the diamond problem. But past that, I didn't really like feel too mentally like burdened in programming. Actually, I found enjoyment in it after that. I think it was more on math. I'm honestly bad at math. Like as I said, I almost failed Calc 1. Barely passed Calc 2. Um, but discrete math, I suddenly found a way to just like excel discrete math. I got a B plus in discrete math. The second part, for my first part, I was very close as well. But as I said, I am a late bloomer, and there's nothing wrong with that. And yeah, um, I know my family loves me. I guess they just don't know me enough, and all that's due to the fact that I don't share any of my thoughts to them, because if they do, they'll have to give up a lot of things just to better me, and I don't want any of that. I do need therapy probably, but I want to be self-sustaining. I want to live in like my own finances, funding when I graduate. I don't want to rely on my dad, who's already like working so hard just to continue my education, which I'm really grateful for. And yeah, the fact that I'm the only one in my family besides my mom who isn't um in UP. I got rejected from UP, which I really expected. Yeah, it still hurts. I just wish like I just applied for a scholarship in Ateneo. I just wish someone from the OA would like acknowledge my feelings, or not really acknowledge my feelings, but like just hear me out. Like I really want that 50% tuition fee. I remember during the screening of the interview 3 months ago, my one of the officers there screening my application. They said that um my dad's salary is too high. That's why I couldn't get past 50. I'm still at 25, and my heart broke because that meant that my dad has to put more funds on me, and honestly, that hurt. And I just wish that I did more to help my dad, and I just wish that during high school I also took academics more seriously than I would have. I was a full grad scholar in Gokongwei, so that meant that I didn't have to pay for tuition for my high school. I think was grade 9, grade 8, I forgot. But yeah, I'll see. I still have a lot to work on. I still have a lot to learn, and maybe there was some things that I could have done better. Honestly, I'm just a mess, and I need to pick myself up and to overall just work on myself. Um, there are a lot of like broken relationships. I have there are some friendships that ended that honestly were my fault. Some of them were not my fault, but still hurt. Um, I acknowledge that I was a people pleaser. Maybe I'm still am, but um, also I put too much importance on what other people think of me, and that's honestly a big problem, and I'm still working on that. I'm just trying my best to just survive, not really survive, but like take it one step at a time. And currently, my family are all swimming. Like, they wanted me to swim with them, but I declined because I said I had schoolwork. But I'm here just spending time to or like working on schoolwork. I have deadlines on the 6th and 7th, which honestly, like I haven't started working on it. I finished the lab for one of my OS labs. It was group work, and also I have to work on this certification for one of my courses, and also one of the projects. There's just so much in my mind. Now, honestly, if like I just have to go through it and just accomplish it. I think that's going to be a big part of adulting, like getting through stuff, not really paying too much mind on it, and just enjoying what you enjoy, live a meaningful life, just provide for your family. Um, maybe I have it all surface level. Um, maybe I just am a boring person in general, but I don't know. Honestly, I just figure it out myself uh when I get to. And yeah, thank you for listening to my rant. And I honestly need this because yesterday was really, 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 really bad on me. And yeah, thank you so much.